There's nothing more functional than picking heavy things off the ground and moving it. So regardless of what the latest infomercial Johnny come lately poodle dick on this big screen of, you know, Tinseltown or whatever is trying to sell you, there's nothing more functional than picking up heavy weight and moving with it. And the way you get that functionality is with strongman training. That is the, you know, there's good, better, and best. And for functionals training, strongman training is the best. You know, so I love using strongman training with my tactical athletes and stuff. You know, that's what they're going to encounter. They need to be able to do that stuff. However, if, you know, you're a tactical athlete, if you're lucky, you get hurt, you got desk duty and you're not doing what you want to do, but at least you're getting paid. You know, if you're a professional athlete, you get hurt, you know, they might, you know, put you on the injured reserve list. So we don't want that to happen. We have to do this safely. So deadlift with a double overhand grip, okay? I've been to more powerlifting meets than Carter has pills. And why I'm telling you this is the most common injury deadlifting. If you ask somebody on the streets or, you know, the local redneck bar turned, you know, local trailer turned redneck bar kind of place, or anywhere in between, what they're going to tell you is the most common injury deadlifting, you know, is your back. That's not true. The most common serious injury I've seen deadlifting is torn biceps, because people lift with that over-under, you know, mixed grip, and that exposes the biceps. So for strongman training, usually in the deadlift events, they let you wear straps, okay? For bodybuilding and hypertrophy training, you should be straps, because eventually when you're doing that kind of work, the grip is going to be the limiting factor. So it's from that safety standpoint, we can go, you know, you can use a hook grip or you can strap up, because you're gonna get the grip work when you train your farmer's walks and things like that. So I'm not saying like, you know, be the goofball, you know, 90s bodybuilder, you know, banana hammock, like Smith machine bench pressing, rolling the straps on and, you know, the big hoopla. We don't need to do all that crap. Just when you're deadlifting, wear straps. It's gonna be more symmetrical development. Your grip's not gonna limit you for the sake of hypertrophy or endurance besides the grip. And it's just gonna make things safer. So if you're not doing a powerlifting meet, either wear straps, use a hook grip, okay? Next, be careful. Okay, so never flip a wet tire is what I always say. It's, you know, that can be, I've seen that happen when people get hurt, and you do not want to be flipping wet tires or doing any of the strongman events on a real, you know. So the next one would be pay attention to friction. So we'll tie these two together. Friction is what you're training on. So if you are, you know, trying to do a sandbag, you know, medley or something, and you're really tired and it's really slippery on the ground, it's been raining and, you know, there's oil on the ground or something, that's problematic, okay? You can get hurt. With a tire flip, I've actually seen this at a contest where it was wet and somebody got hurt. So you really want to avoid that. Think about if you're training outside, you have one of those loadable Husafelt stones you carry that are made out of metal. You're in, you know, Houston, Texas, 105 degrees with 90% humidity. You're gonna drop it probably, and you're gonna break your foot. So everything has a risk to benefit ratio. So we want to push the envelope as hard as possible without going too far on that risk side and taking away from the benefit side. Because yeah, it is going to make you mentally tougher to not, you know, to train 105 with a Husafelt stone. 90, of course it will, but that little bit you get from it's not worth the whole risk in the process. Just how, you know, another one is people say, you know, back in the day, football coaches wouldn't let players drink water. That, you know, that there was no benefit to that. I agree. I don't agree with that. I think it's crazy. However, there was a benefit to mental toughness. I mean, I'm sorry. Some fullback's not going to come out of the game saying, give me some Vagisil if he's, you know, practiced 4 hours in the heat with no water. I mean, that's going to make you tough. I mean, not good. I don't recommend doing this because people can die and all sorts of things. And, you know, we don't want to see that happen. But I mean, to say there's absolutely no benefit, it's not true. Just how doing what I said, there would be some benefit, but the potential risk, just how like the football practice is, the benefits are tougher. The risk is you got a good chance of dying. So you want to just build your toughness other ways kind of thing, okay? Next, think technique over speed. And eventually, if you are, especially if you're not competing, you have to think technique, because a lot of times in a competition, it might be, hey, you're lifting this 250-pound stone over, you know, some sort of barrier like 48 inches, 50 inches in the air, boom, over it. So you have to do as many reps as you can, say in 60 seconds. And if you're capable of, say, lifting 450 pounds over that, that's a very light weight to you. So you better be hauling ass to get as many reps as possible to beat the oncoming fatigue and just get as many reps as you can. So when you're doing that, you're not setting up perfectly but here's what you can do. First off, you're not competing there. This is a no-brainer. You have to, like, if you're picking up a stone, a sandbag, you can tear a bicep or something, get everything locked in and do it. Okay, this is not taking away from your explosivity. Like when you actually pick it up and go over the barrier, you do explode. But like, you go as farmer's walks, a quick walk, not trying to run. Like say, if you can do 400 pounds in each hand, the contest is 250, you can sprint with it. Not a good idea, if you're just training for recreational or occupational purposes for that matter. But what I'm telling you here is if you train the way I'm saying and think technique over speed, eventually the speed's gonna be better because all of a sudden, like, you decide to enter a strongman contest, you pick the sandbag up, you put it over the bar. You've done it correctly every single time, so now when you gotta haul ass, you will haul ass like you need to, but you're gonna haul ass with perfect technique. That's where the benefit comes, okay? So you gotta keep that in mind. Technical failure is the next point. Think if you can't do something in a contest, it doesn't matter how you lift it up. If you somehow could bring the log up and like bounce it off your knees really hard and on top of your head and locked it out, that's okay. You just have to get it up. But that's not how you train. So anytime you fail technically, view that as failure and dial things back. The only time to make this not the case is if it's in a competition and you're competing to win. Okay? And finally, think in terms of making reasonable jumps in your progress. What I mean by that is no one's going to go into the gym today, max out on the bench press, say at 200 pounds, then attempt to do 400 pounds, 3 weeks later. That can happen to strongman because you become more proficient in the event. So I want you to take smaller jumps, like pretty big jumps, still like 10% jumps. So if you're deadlifting 500, that'd be 550 the next workout. Then after that, 615, so on. So I'm not saying don't take jumps, but if you're doing a yoke, say you're not really familiar with the yoke and you're moving with it, you got 500 pounds on, all of a sudden you feel proficient on it, you want to try 900 in 2 weeks, you get your body used to it. Just take those 10% jumps, do it safely, master technique, and strongman will have you ready for anything.